Hi, I'm Chad Leitenberger. I'm the director of QuestCon and master herder of cats.
Be safe to assume that the adventuring team is a huge group of cats.
I don't know if they'd like to be called cats, and thankfully, it's not my job to directly herd them. That's Lauren's job. Um, I get to herd Lauren a little bit, along with a few others, but she's actually the cosplay coordinator, and with that, the adventuring team lead as well.
All right. Well, describe what is the adventuring team.
Well, the concept of the adventuring team literally sprang to life maybe a couple weeks after we pulled the trigger and decided to go ahead and start building QuestCon 2 or 3 years ago. It's the adventuring team is QuestCon's outreach to the community. You'll see them do a lot of things like parrot promotions for QuestCon. They've done charitable events. They've done appeared at other events when people's asked for superheroes or cosplayers, but ultimately they are QuestCon's outreach to the public.
All right. Now, a lot of them have their own cosplay organizations, have their own cosplay groups and pages. How did you settle on steampunk? Because a lot of them do superheroes, a lot of them do anime and stuff like that.
Well, and you've kind of answered your own question, really. A lot of people do anime, and a lot of people do superheroes. We wanted to kind of do something different and noticeable. So the idea of a steampunk oriented character was born. And that would be the steampunk. Well, a lot of people are calling it the steampunk pixie, the big metal wings and everything else. And through that, the rest of the adventuring team kind of adopted the steampunk um, genres.
How did you dedicate? Because essentially the steampunk pixie is the centerpiece of the adventuring team. How did that costume come about? How did the decision to do okay, we're going to do a pixie come about?
Oh wow! We've sat in TeamSpeak for you gamers that know what TeamSpeak is. We sat in TeamSpeak for weeks with different ideas on this and putting together ideas and mixing and matching clothes and hardware and wings and boots and everything else. And it was really a combination of about five people just getting together and saying, this is kind of the look we're going for, which ended up being looking a lot like Lady Mechanika.
On a side note, I don't think I'm familiar with Lady Mechanica. I'll have to look that picture up.
Lady Mechanika is a comic book heroine, a steampunk comic book heroine, and to be honest, we'd never even heard of her, but we come up with this awesome costume, and it's really close to Lady Mechanika. At DragonCon, people were telling Lauren, they're saying, "Nice Lady Mechanika." We're like, we got to Google that when we get back.
Proof that it was not copyright infringement.
Nope, not at all. But the adventuring team, they don't only do steampunk. They're actually working on three different genres. They've got their steampunk, which is QuestCon's themed adventuring team cosplay, and then all of them have or working on superheroes slash supervillain cosplay. Because when they're out doing charitable events, especially with children, a lot of people don't really recognize the steampunk, but they sure know what their superheroes and supervillains look like. And then I think the third theme that they came up with is they're all going to be doing separate Overwatch characters, which should be really pretty freaking cool.
The Overwatch cosplay has definitely hit the stage, big. There's a lot of Overwatch fans out there.
There really are, and I know Lauren's working on a Pharaoh, Peyton's working on a Genji. So if you've seen Peyton with his Iron Patriot Iron Man costume, you can well imagine what the cosplay for Genji's going to be. My wife's working on a Mercy. Yes, my wife. And I think Morgan's working on a McCree. It's going to be really interesting. It'll be really cool. We're hoping to have that done by DragonCon too.
Okay. Have we? So how many members are there of the adventuring team right now?
Currently, the adventuring team has 10 members. And the reason we did 10 was because we wanted to make sure that there were always at least 2, 3, 5 people at every event we do or every event where we're needed. In addition, sometimes, like coming up on, I think it's July 28th or 29th, some of us will be at Mechanika in New Orleans promoting QuestCon, and then some of us will be at they're having like a cosplay day over at Barnes & Nobles in Spanish Forts, so some will be over there. So it gives us the versatility of doing multiple things in a day.
All right. Now, what do you see the future of the adventuring team? Obviously, it's going to stick with QuestCon as we go through the years, but how do you see the adventuring team progressing?
Well, personally, I'd like to see the venturing team really help out a lot of charities. Obviously, the venturing team's there to help promote QuestCon, to be our outreach, but I, I personally would really like to see them get out and do some more charitable events, and we do some now. But to have the availability of being able to have the QuestCon adventuring team at charitable events along the Gulf Coast would be really, really cool. I think it'd be neat. The kids love it. Why not?
So, what now? As part of QuestCon, you've been to a ton of conventions now.
Oh my God. I couldn't even tell you how many I've been to. It's been a lot.
Now, you're not necessarily a cosplayer yourself, correct?
No, actually, I'm not. I might dress up as a firefighter every third day, but outside of that, no, I don't. Sometimes I wish I had the time, and other times I'm like, no. Not because I don't think it's neat, just because, you know, I'm not a cosplayer at heart.
Yeah.
I'd be doing cosplayers an injustice trying to cosplay.
So, what out of all these conventions you've gone to, what has been the favorite cosplay that you've seen? What's been the one that's really stood out for you?
Well, obviously outside of our team members, and our team members have some really, really good cosplay. One of the ones that stood out to me was we went to Dragon Con last year, and there was like a 9 or 10 foot Reinhardt, full armor, at one of the hotels we went to. And this guy was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was like, whoa. And they couldn't do it. They had to do it like in the lobby where it's like 2 or 3 stories open area. I mean, this thing was huge, but it's just what you thought Reinhardt would be. And to me, that was the most awesome cosplay I saw at Dragon Con.
All right.
Which, if you want to see cosplay, you go to Dragon Con. That is the cosplay get together of the year. It absolutely is. If you can think it, it's there somewhere.
Do you have any tips or tricks for anybody out there that might be looking into cosplaying, even from an outsider's perspective?
Absolutely. The neat thing about cosplay is anybody can do it. There's no good cosplay, bad cosplay. It's really your take on whatever you're trying to cosplay, whether it's something you've seen in a game, something you've seen on TV, or something you created. There's really not a bad cosplay. And if you want to get into it, I really suggest you find a cosplayer, whether it be via social media, YouTube, or maybe you know one, and ask them some questions. Because I haven't seen a cosplayer that's not more than willing to help somebody else get into the industry.
All right. Now, if somebody wants to get involved with the adventuring team, is there possibilities of stuff that they could do and get involved somehow?
We're always looking for new members. Now, right now we got 10, so we're being a little more critical of people who join our team. But it's got to be somebody between Pensacola and New Orleans that can go to some of the local events. You've got to have the time to go to some of the not so local events. Right now, it's not a paid for gig, so you got to be willing to spend your own money, at least the first year. But we're always keeping an eye out for cosplayers for the adventuring team. But more importantly, we want to make sure that they mesh with the rest of the team. So far, Lauren's made some really great decisions with the team members. as far as how well they relate together and how everybody just meshes and gets along. And that's more important than anything, because first and foremost, we're a family. Whether it's a staff member like me or cosplayers like the adventuring team, we're a family. And that means that people who join us need to fit into the family. You can be weird, you can be a gamer, you know, you can pick your nose in public, but you gotta mesh with the rest of the team, and that's the most important thing. So a lot of times we may have somebody in mind that we've seen, and we're like, yeah, let's get them to hang around us a little bit. And you know, sometimes like with our one of our newest members, Caitlin, or Chris and Trey, who we've hung around before, and they recently joined the team. We're like, yes. And there's been a couple. We're like, no, you're not meshing with us very well. You know, but that's all part of it. If you're going to be part of a cosplay team, then you need to mesh with them, gel with them. Come meet the adventuring team this October at QuestCon, October 20 through 22nd. You won't be disappointed. These are some amazing individuals.